What's up, Ivies? I know it's been a minute, but I gotta learn you something, and I gotta be taught something. Or is that the other way around? I gotta learn something, and I gotta teach y'all something. So we're gonna do anatomy today. I'm not the best at it, but you can learn with me. Over the course of these videos, I'm gonna get better, and you gonna learn something and get better too. And even if you're not here to enjoy all that, just sit down and draw with me. It's not gonna cost you nothing. But anyway, not gonna hold you too long. Let's get the green.
Honestly, go. Can't say how I'm feeling inside. I wanna be sealed, but got too much pride. I wanna be sealed, but I'm really healed. Don't really like healed, but I tell you, I tried. I live it.
I know we're gonna get to that drawing session, but you already know. I need you to like the video, comment whatever song you're listening to right now, or if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and show me some support. I gotta know if you're messing with it. And if you learn something, let me know. But anyway, let's get to drawing. Alright guys, what I'm trying to do with y'all today is basically you're gonna learn anatomy with me, because my anatomy is bad, but it's not as accurate as it could be. Like, in tandem with like my perspective skills, if I could just fix my anatomy, my drawings would probably pop off a lot more. And so I guess my biggest weaknesses are like, let me see what y'all can see. Go ahead, son. Cause like I say my biggest issues in anatomy is like legs, hands, and like shoulders. But obviously, like, the main priority with anatomy is just to make sure that you get an accurate representation of the body. So nonetheless, it's still illusory magic. Like, it's still like any drawing. It's just, how do you convince someone of this being a three-dimensional space on 2D? And so I guess you typically with a body, you start with the essential shapes, you know, squares and cubes, circles and spheres, rods, what is that sound? Because it's messing with me too. There, I think I fixed it. Or maybe I didn't. Anyway, chat. My issues with the body probably is like, I also how like the neck fits onto like the traps, and then the shoulders come out from that. Or maybe I didn't have trouble. Because how I do is, you know, I put the rods and then the joints. I make sure the rib cage is here, but it kind of fits more like this. Okay, so the lower half is really where I struggle. And then, you know, the muscles kind of fit like a chain link, so it's like... My muscle anatomy isn't like the best, but it's practical, I guess. Okay, so maybe I didn't have as much trouble as I thought. I'm just lazy. Because like upper body muscles are so easy for me to do. And then you go low, you got joints here and like the pelvis and such. Other rods, midsection. So my anatomy isn't like awful. It could be better. That's why, like, if you're gonna do anatomy, you also need to know your three-dimensional forms better. Like, form and anatomy go hand in hand. How would I draw a leg? Let me look up a foot. It's so weird, like, my Pinterest searches are so weird because I draw. Like, I be having to look up strange stuff. I know this is technically supposed to be like me teaching anatomy, but I'm also just trying to learn it myself. So I guess it's kind of like a follow-along practicing sort of thing. Okay, let me type leg and not foot, because y'all overwhooping it. And if you, while I got your attention in this anatomy session, read my comic E Kings on Webtoon and follow my Instagram. You'll find your place there. But now that I'm doing this, I already just got to map out my tattoos, so I'm going to do later. I wanted to get them done today, but the rain could prove a bit issuey, you know? I hate whenever I tap on an image on Pinterest and it takes me to Amazon. Like, bro, I'm just trying to look at photos. Don't take me anywhere else. I did not come to Pinterest to look at other stuff. Well, no, actually I did. I didn't come to Pinterest for anything other than Pinterest. It's not awful, but like you can tell it's not the most practical. But I guess if you were to, you know, so happen to struggle with like arms and such, just kind of make sure you start off with joints and rods. So like for every joint there's a circle, and then for every part in between there's a rod. I hope that like makes sense. And from what I could tell, the muscles kind of fit together in like a chain link. This is just like stuff I've gathered from other people. I haven't done truly enough formal practice with anatomy, like trying to do not still lifes, but like the figure studies that people do, where like somebody just get stripped down, butt booty naked, and then everybody draw them. Like I don't typically see that, you know. But let me look up the shoulder muscles so I can actually pack the muscles onto the structure the right way. If you kind of think of it like sculpting when you draw muscles, then it'll be a whole lot better, because sometimes people will draw muscles as just a bunch of lines and forget how they fit three-dimensionally. So let's look up shoulder muscles, chat. I should probably just start calling y'all Ivies, because like I'm the god in green. But Ivy, is that green? Oh, Ivory is white. Let me see. If I just type Ivy, what's gonna pop up in Pinterest? Let's screw the shoulders. Let's Ivy. I mean, it's a plant. It kind of counts. Now let's see about them shoulders, so I can teach chat properly. Okay, shoulder muscles, because now a bunch of shirtless men popped up, and that's not productive, is it? I hope that's not AI. Let me catch you using AI in real life. But don't get me started. Let me add anatomy to it, because it's like with searches nowadays, you gotta be like specific to the follicle. Can't even just say hair, you gotta be like exact by the follicle. So the way the chest, bro, I am not trying to go to Amazon. Don't do this to me. You're embarrassing me in front of the class. There. I clicked on it again. Fuck. We're gonna try again. There. So, this pectoralis major with the nipple, it fits kind of like, you could visualize it like a cube and then eventually sculpt it into like a trapezoidal kind of shape, or like a half hexagon, because then the shoulder muscles come up from the collarbone. Trap connects the neck muscles, so you got this piece right there, and the shoulder muscles kind of, especially when the arm is extended, they kind of wrap around that joint. And since you got the rib cage here, you got like the obliques. That's the obliques, right? I was close, but no, that is not the obliques. You got the serrated interior that kind of wraps around that rib cage, and then the abdominal muscles kind of wrap around the space where the bones are, and then they settle on the muscles. I hope that made sense. This is why I shouldn't be a doctor. But you kind of have the traps come in right there, and the bicep kind of curves. joint here, and the muscles wrapping around that rod. I might be the worst guy to be teaching this kind of stuff because my sketches are messy, and since it's not like pencil based, it may be harder to make out what I just drew. Let's get the markers out, class. Let's get the markers out. That way I can detail what muscles I'm drawing and how they extend. Let's get green, blue, and red. Let's get yellow. I don't have a mic in this time, so if I sound awful, I apologize. But my mics also make me sound awful, so it's like, it kind of doesn't matter anymore. So let's first get into the anatomy of the arm. Because you have, you got the shoulder, bicep, joint, forearm, which is really like two bones. So it's really like this. And then it's like you got the bones on the wrist, palm, and then like the bones that come from that. You know what I mean? But, so let's look up the bones in the arm bone anatomy. And I'll name the bones, and we're gonna sculpt the muscles from the bones. So you got your bones, but you can just kind of simplify the bones as like spears and rods. This should work, I hope. This is like med student anatomy. Just give me like anatomy for dummies. Here it goes. Okay, so imagine this is the humerus, and above the humerus, the bone where your bicep would sit, you got, the shoulder blade. I don't think it sits like that, but it's pretty sharp. You got your clavicle, which I guess is your collarbone as well. And then you got your radius here, and then your ulna. And then this is when you get to like the carpus, which I would assume would be the wrist. Then the metacarpus, which is probably like the palm. Then you get into like the, the phalanges or whatever not. The fingers. But from that you could sculpt another human arm, but with, let me see. Let's get into arm anatomy, but muscles. Okay, some of these is not in English. Okay, there's one. So you already got the bones here. You got the humerus represented by a rod. The joints here, which would be the elbow, represented by a singular ball point that it rotates around. Not rotate. It's more like a hinge, I guess. And you've got the muscles that'll be sculpted on top. Like I said, they fit like a chain. At least on the arm they do. So think of the muscles from the shoulder, the delts, kind of coming in. And then the bicep comes around to accept that part. The triceps come in. Keep the elbow. What is that called? The BrothaAtlas? So I guess that's what comes out of like the tricep and curves here. Remember, it's like a chain. So you got the BrothaAtlas here. Some other back muscles. I promise you I'm not a doctor. Just an artist. So they kind of scope around that, around the radius and ulna. And then from the rest of their arm, there's not much muscle to sculpt. But let's color code them so you know what I'm talking about. So, talking about the deltoids, which is the muscles in the shoulder, represented by this orangey dark yellow. Represent the biceps with some blue. Maybe do the triceps in red. And then go over the brachialis muscles with some greens. But we'll just use the one green for right now. They fit together like a chain. So if we kind of transfer this image onto the chain, so you kind of get what I'm trying to visualize, yellow fits in, and then blue wraps around on that front. And then you could say the triceps are kind of like the other half of the link for the bicep with the other side. And then you got the brachialis muscles, which make up the forearm, which wrap around. But it'd be easier to personify that as the chains kind of moving like that. So, yellow to wrap, blue to wrap, yellow around the back, and then green will wrap around and approach from the front. Kind of like that. You see it? You see how they kind of fit together like a chain? The muscles in the leg work similarly, I'm pretty sure. It's kind of the same construction, actually. We have the joint for the pelvic muscle, which I guess would be akin to the shoulder. And then you have, a rod for like the femur or something. Let me look up leg muscles. I told you I ain't no doctor. I'm just an artist. Leg bone anatomy. Okay, so we're gonna come back to the guy over here. Gonna do, so the bones I see in the leg, you got the hip bone, rod. That does not look right. Hold on, let's fix that right here. The pelvic bone and the joint. You got the femur that comes down. And then from this joint, you'd have, the tibia, fibula for the lower leg. Let's just make a new page, chat. So again, with orbs and rods, you could build a leg. But obviously, once you start stacking it from there, it's gonna get more complex because, okay, well, this ball would be pelvic bone. That comes over there. Well, you can't see what I'm seeing. Hold on. That might help. Whoa. There. There. So you got the pelvic bone. Or pelvic girdle. Whatever. It's a bunch of words. Now, you've got the femur that fits here, goes in a bit, and the rod. Same form as before, one singular bone, which makes up the thigh. Then you get to your kneecap, which I guess is called the patella. And then you get to the tibial plateau, which makes up the tibia, the top of that rod. You also got the fibula. Mine looks so boxy. I'll get better at it. I gotta practice anyway. You got like foot stuff too. And while I got y'all listening, paying attention, what y'all listening to right now? So here's the whole leg. You got the thigh, which is represented with the femur bone. And then here you got the lower leg, which, the calf and such. So calf. Even though your calf is like just that one muscle. So you got the bones here. You got your rods and orbs set up. Let's look at the muscles. I know I didn't name all the bones, but I'm not like a physician or anything. Leg muscle anatomy. And if you see any of my notifications pop up, you did. It's strange to use other artists' references to work. I'm gonna have to make my own references, low key. Once I get real good. Look at the front face on me. See, even I don't know what I'm doing. I'm on here teaching y'all and I don't even know nothing. Sure, this will work. Don't open up an Amazon link, please don't. Okay. This isn't Russian. God. Okay, whatever. So, you got what I'm pretty sure would be a bone for the hip here. That would wrap around like a chain. And then this piece kind of segments down. So there's a piece there. These wrap out of the curves. Establish above. They all kind of draping around the knee. But it kind of comes in like almost. And it's weird because it's like, I guess around the thinner bone is where all the muscle kinds of congregates. So there's this one. There's one in front above the knee. And then there's this one that comes around right there. I promise y'all I'm having trouble too. You're probably really confused, like, bro, what is this guy on? I couldn't even tell you, bro. And there's one here. So let's kind of color code the different muscles we're looking at, even though I couldn't name them to you, so I wanted to. But let's approximate them. So let's pretend this is just a fully extended arm and this is the shoulder, right? And that hip butt part would be the shoulder. And blue is the bicep, so I guess the femur and such, or the muscles around the femur would be akin to bicep muscles. And to denote that these are different muscles, we're just gonna cross hatch them, or just hatch them because they're not crossed over. We'll cross them over. Now they're cross hatched. And we'll express the muscles around the calf as if they're also brachialis muscles, so that you can see kind of how they fit in the chain. So there's that one. And then and I guess the trapezius muscles would be the ones in the back. So I'll probably have to depict that as well. The back of the leg. Let me see. They might mean I have to go back and do the arm too. I probably should have organized this, but maybe it's more organic this way. Or lazy. It's really up to you to pick. Here. So here's another view. So what I depicted here is the hip. And then there's the glutes behind that I guess would double as like back muscles. Yeah. If I hang a guy upside down, it's the same build. Different functions. So back of the leg, start off with your rod, your orb, and your rod, joint, rod, joint, and then you got this orifice here. And so from here, you've got the back of the leg. Similar build, but you'd have the glutes. Let me see. Because now I gotta like actually find a backside view. This'll work. These kind of come out and around. Is this a left or right leg? If it's a right leg, alright, yeah, I got it. So you got the glute muscles coming around to wrap around the muscle. And you'd have the hamstrings here. It's hard to truly dictate like the direction the muscles go in the hamstrings. Okay. So they do act as like elongated traps. So they're like here and they go around to the sides. Okay. You got the glutes here. You got the hamstrings that kind of act as tries, and then you got obviously a muscleless cavity where the leg is bending at the hinge. So, you know, we'll just make sure to denote that as the knee surgery. That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny, I'm sorry. Anyway, and then you got the calves that kind of split down the middle, but they come out at the sides. And then there's the foot. And there was a muscle I missed on the side of the glute here. So now I have to kind of color code them so you see what I'm talking about, how they act. That way you see what I mean. So, yellow. The glute will be the nose. Yellow. The hamstrings are more akin to tries, so I won't color them blue, but red. And then we'll use blue for the side muscles that I couldn't truly depict. But since the muscles wrap around, they're akin to the muscles in the front. The ones along the femur. Or the thigh, I guess, if you want to be that guy. And then we'll color the calf muscles green, similar to the BrothaAtlas muscles on the forearms, since they as well wrap around those bones. So there. It might be easier like this. You see what I mean? They behave similarly. So I guess if I had to pick the back of an arm too, so like start off with another orb, and then here's a rod, and then a joint, and then another rod. There. But this time it's kind of three-dimensional. You would probably sculpt shoulder that way, curves around, and then the tries would come here and wrap around the arm, come to the back, wrap around that portion, and then you've got like the cartilage and muscle that goes there, elbow, and then the BrothaAtlas muscles wrap around the front. And, you know, the palm would kind of come out. My fingers don't look right because I'm basically just approximating them on a palm that I didn't plan out. But this would be like the back of an arm. And then there'd probably be the back to match, the lats. I should probably just do a full-blown video, but I'll probably just do it in parts on a playlist. I'll probably define this one as arm and legs, and then I'll do like torso and back for a different video, and then like head anatomy for a different one, if that'll help. That'll probably be the right orientation. So let's color code the muscles again. In this case, the tries are here. As they wrap around the arm. Let me just use a broad tip. I don't feel like doing all that. Whoa. Is my food here? My food was here. But I think I'll split this up so that my videos aren't too long, because I feel like they're too long. So people's attention spans won't, you know, like not enough information will click and stick in people's heads. So I don't want to drag it. But hopefully you'll come back to learn some more anatomy and other art fundamentals from me, and I hope I can see you again soon. Hopefully I'll see you on the next video where I'll detail a bit of torso and back anatomy, and maybe even a future video where I do facial and head structure anatomy. But hopefully you'll be back with me, I'll be back with you, and we can learn a little bit more together. But like I said, read my comic E-Kings on Webtoon, follow my Instagram and my other socials. I'm not gonna hold you too longer. So make your daily do. Get the green.
Honestly, go. Can't Can't say how I'm feeling inside. I don't wanna be serious, but got too much pride. I don't wanna be serious, but I'm really here. Don't really like here, but I tell you I tried. I done did everything else but cry. I done smoke all my weed, young nigga on fried. You can see all this shit in my